Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Isabel Wong.
And I'm Carain Yeung. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Bus driver is sentenced to 17 months in jail for 2017 accident that injured 19 people.
Yeung rebuffs remarks made by judge in Avery Yeung case again.
And Beijing voices its support for Huawei for the first time in its lawsuit against U.S. government.
A bus driver has been sentenced to 17 months in jail for dangerous driving.
He was involved in an accident on North Lantau Highway in 2017 that left 19 people injured.
Kim Wong was a driver for Longwind Bus Company at the time of an accident that left 19 people injured. He was driving his Route N31 bus in the early hours of the 30th of November 2017 when he plowed into the back of a truck which had stopped on the hard shoulder on North Lantau Highway. The truck's hard set lights were on at the time. He pled guilty in December to dangerous driving and arrived at the district court today for sentencing. Judge David Dufton acknowledged that Ng had to take care of his cancer-stricken wife, which caused him to not getting enough rest. However, Dufton said Ng could not neglect the safety of his passengers as a bus driver. Moments before the crash, Ng's bus deviated from the lane it was in. Dufton said this should have served as a warning to Ng to stop and rest. Instead, Ng continued driving and fell asleep, which led to the accident. But Dufton believed the defendant has shown remorse for what happened. In a mitigation letter, a nurse wrote that Ng constantly felt guilty and was saddened when he learned about the situation of relatives of those injured. The defendant himself was also hurt. The accident caused injuries to his leg and waist, and he later lost his job. He was also struck by depression. A psychological report showed Ng could have developed post-traumatic stress disorder as he appeared emotional whenever he mentioned the accident and his wife. She passed away in January. Considering his situation and that he had been a blood donor since 2007, the judge slashed Ng's sentence from 3 years imprisonment to 17 months and suspended his license for 3 years. The prosecution had earlier revealed that 5 people suffered severe injuries from the accident. Some of them have been unable to return to work.
Former Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying has again rebuked remarks made by the judge in Avery Ng's appeal case. Judge Joseph Yao said on Wednesday that he was puzzled as to why the League of Social Democrats chairman was charged for assaulting a police officer when it was Leung who was the target of a sandwich that was thrown. Yao questioned if prosecutors deliberately did that to keep Leung from testifying. Leung said there was no need to speculate whether the prosecution kept him from testifying. He added that he wondered if the judge was aware of news reports of him testifying in a separate assault case involving former lawmaker Raymond Wong and in Ng's case. However, Leung did not mention that he was not called by the prosecution, but he was a witness for Ng's defense.
Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office Director Zhang Xiaoming says Beijing's request to Chief Executive Carain to submit a report on the banning of the National Party was appropriate and reasonable. Zhang was speaking to the press after a National People's Congress meeting today. The questions of so-called intervention and the country undermining Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy doesn't exist, Zhang said. He added that central government had the power to make the request and it was only fulfilling its duties stipulated in the law.
The hospital authority is seeking over $6 million in fees owed by a mainland woman. Hu Huaijiao suffered severe head injuries in a traffic accident in Kwun Tong in 2015 and was sent to Queen Elizabeth Hospital. She was later transferred to Carain Hospital. At the end of last month, Hu owed the 2 hospitals $6.17 million. She was still receiving treatment at Carain Hospital. Non-locals are charged a daily rate of $5,100. Hu's 80-year-old Hong Kong husband said he received a $5 million invoice from the authority a while ago. He said he would not be able to pay the bill.
Prosecutors have withdrawn a manslaughter charge against 3 men over a scuffle at a garage in Taiwan last year.
Sources said a post-mortem on the deceased man found traces of meth, which could cause sudden death.
On the 16th of November, a fight broke out at a garage in Taiwan over a service dispute. 3 men allegedly drove there and had an argument with staff. They subsequently smashed a car. 2 of the garage owners and a repairman grabbed 42-year-old Ho Xin-hang and pinned him to the ground. Ho yelled that he could not breathe. He suffered severe head injuries and later died in hospital. Police charged garage owners Alan Chan and Chen Cheng-tat and repairman Chen Shipan with manslaughter. The 3 defendants appeared at Shatin Court today. During the hearing, prosecutors announced that they were withdrawing the charge after receiving Ho's post-mortem report. Sources said the report showed Ho did not die from suffocation. It was understood that meth was found in his body and the illegal substance could cause sudden death. After seeking advice from the Justice Department, prosecutors dropped the charge, the sources said. The 3 defendants walked free from court.
Beijing has for the first time voiced its support for tech giant Huawei and called the U.S. approach towards the company as a deliberate political move to bring them down.
Foreign Minister Wang Yi also endorsed Huawei's legal fight against the U.S. government, saying the Chinese companies shouldn't be silent lambs, Edna reports.
Foreign Minister Wang Yi spoke with the media today on the sidelines of China's annual political meetings. He took the opportunity to back Huawei in its lawsuit against the U.S. government. Yesterday's filing was aimed at overturning a federal ban on its equipment. This was the first time Beijing voiced its support for the telecoms giant.
我们也支持相关企业和个人拿起法律的武器。
We support the company and the individual in question in seeking legal redress to protect their own interests and